Uja, greetings. I am Sunu Setna Hasra. Welcome to our early morning ancient Egyptian devotional, dedicated to Goddess Net in all her mystic forms, gods and goddesses, who are derived from her transcendental essence. The liturgy, which you will be able to see on screen, is recited in the ancient Egyptian language, the Medu Neta. English and Brazilian Portuguese translations is provided for you. You can see these translations on screen directly below the hieroglyphic text transliteration. You are welcome to participate by chanting along in your worship space, home, or wherever you may happen to be during the service, or you are also welcome to listen quietly in a contemplative mood. Following the devotional known as Washu in the Kemetic tongue, the recitation of the liturgy and meditation known as Ua in the ancient Egyptian language, we will have a brief wisdom known as Rek in the ancient Egyptian language, teaching by Sihu Kepra Ankh, leader and priest of the Shetaut Neter Temple of Net. Before we begin, please remember to mute all devices. We will now begin. Presented on the screen at the moment is a stoned carved depiction of the facing pylons of the Temple of Net from the statue of Henat. On the left and right sides, the pylons, in which one of the symbols of Goddess Net sits atop of a papyrus standard. Her emblem is her two arrows crossed and tied to her shield. This symbolizes the protection and resurrection of the soul within this place, the temple. Behind the emblems of Net on both sides are the flags which mean Neter, divinity. In the center of the pylons, at the bottom, is the opening to the temple, and above that is a pyramidal structure which symbolizes the four equilateral planes of the universe and the mystic number 4. Above that, at the very top, is the cow hieroglyph, which means rising. It symbolizes the sun rising between the mountains, the Aket symbol, and for the initiates, the emergence of spirit consciousness. Net nesumer pu neter emine. Jeref nesu hatepti net perkeu. Menket mert em heb sed neb enkai. Geri heb pertep ssn em heb net inat ren efjecta. Net nesumer pu neter emine. Jeref nesu hatepti net perkeu. Menket mert em heb sed neb enkaem. Geri heb pertep ssn em heb net inat ren f jetta, net nesumer pu, neter mine, jedef nesu hatepti neperkeru, benket mert hepset nek kaen, Gary heb hertep ssn heb inan ren f jetta net nesumer pu neter eminen jedef nesu hatepti net perkeru Benket mert hepset mob kaen Gary hep hertep ssn hep inan ren f jetta duamon Gerefu benefem heru aputi Anate Chirkirai Nefer Nebuben Duamun Gerefu Benefem Heru Aputi Anate Chirkirai Nefer Nebuben Duamun Gerefu benefem heru aputi anate jirgira nefer nebuben duamu Gerefu benefem heru aputi anate jirgira Nefer nebuben Adi gen sekert aset uru. Kef uru. Nesudi hatep netperkeu. Didi eskau abamonet nefer shepsi. Et net otep. Nesudi hatep netperkeu. Didi eskau abamonet nefer shepsi. Et net otep. Nesuti hatep netperkeu. Didi eskau abamonet nefer shepsi. Et net otep. Nesuti hatep netperkeu. Didi eskau abamonet nefer shepsi. Et net te tua shamsu en nebuja seshu en keperi dua asar nebrestav paut netaru at ami netakert anatet here pikenti amentet unefer abdu matentu ai ku anek alati resta seteka sekert aku sari nahas ubed center set mk def sit neta uni entet hena yashem neter asa erdit endek in ari heru hena herme endes ari heru aus uatepi ari sets ab ua eter abu pen a asar abu pen asar spur en arit pert nehas sa uajit pa neter asar ari heru hept en aset abu yen tuche Medu aset sam ujat setep saher amseti enti amsa asa sa amseti asa amseti Meduje nebehet hapsheta ari besa her happy enti sa asa sa happy asar pu happy Medujeyan net seduara semesha hu neb her ari maket en duamutef enti amsa asar sa duamutef asar pu duamutef Medujeyan cirket inka ke sekedet sa hu neb ari maket en quepsunef entet amsa asar sa quepsune asar pu quepsune Iana terda emnuen duasheta Iana terda emnuen duasheta Nebejer medu anatet herke asar Putra. Makti Sake Setu Sakake. Nebuchadnezzar Medus. Anatet Shirke Asar. Putra. Makti Sake Setu Sakake. Nebuchadnezzar Medus. Anatet Shirke Asar. Putra. Makti Sake Setu Sakake. Nebuchadnezzar Medus. Anatet Shirke Asar. Putra. Makti Sake Setu Sakake. Adi Jen Sigurd. Adi Duat. Ekal Uashu. Net net uanet. Sefekera senuet. Net net uanet. Sefekera senuet. Net net uanet. Sefekera senuet. Net net duanet sefekera senue. Amu mu onsu. Amu mu onsu. Amu mu onsu. Amu mu onsu. Om Amurapata. Om Amurapata. Om Amurapata. Om Amurapata. Om Asara Seru. Om Asara Seru. Om Asara Seru. Om Asara Seru. Keruma Keru. Keruma Keru. Keruma keru, keru ma keru. Ase, 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 ase. Amaira nete ankoja sene arinete amaira nete ankoja sene Arineteru Amahawera Nepe Am Puja Sene Arineteru Amahawera Nepe Am Puja Sene Arineteru Duat Nuke Atien Keperu Nuke Atien Keperu Nuke Atien Keperu Nuke Atien Keperu Eheru 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 Duatu heru Duatu keru Duatu heru Duatu keru Duatu heru Duatu keru Duat heru. Duat heru. Nuk nebejer. Nuk nebejer. Nuk nebejer. Nuk nebejer. Nefer rentra en aton. Nefer rentra en aton. Nefer rentra en aton. Nefer rentra en aton. Makeru en ba nebejer. Makeru en ba nebejer. Makeru en ba nebejer. Makeru en ba nebejer. Nuk ua kua. Nuk ua kua. Nuk ua kua. Nuk ua kua. Nukmat, 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 nukmat. A new, a new, a new, newt, asar, 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 asar. Asa, 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 asa. Pete au, angel, uas hena. Nafu erkepitu, embaat, emdijasu, sunu aemputet, aset, Ua suja heru, suja menut, nebu sen efset, efsen asa aset, hetepi, suja aulitu yaso, nesheshu nebu, emhu, shemu metu, tau set, nebu nesteta, ua menti, heru kut, teken an ap, tesu ken, hena sefat, ara, Vijit kat, Hena, Asar beta, Keperu merut, Ra tat, Nefi asar keperu, Uahai, Uaker. Luke aset, Perke nayat, Ret enai, Seter samedu en Jehuti, tep mahat, Empet ta atert, Aset neter, Nefer, Ger, Pu ankseske, SDA ament, Ursa enken, Pu F LN, AU F, Ready F, Netkep, It Etep, F her, FT ent, and F Tawi, Uahai, Uaker. Eruma Keru, Eruma Keru, Eruma Keru, Eruma Keru. Nerai Mesra, Nerai, Mesra, Nerai, Mesra, Nukepra, Amdua, Ra Emahau, Temu Ami Mesel. Nukepra, Amdua, Ra Emahau, Temu Ami Mesel. Nukepra, Amdua, Ra Emahau, Temu Ami Mesel. Uahai, Uaker. Seth. Then turn, move, nepe, digesteri, digeri, neter, neter, move, nepe, digesteri, zigeri, neter, neter, nepe, digesteri, zigeri, neter, neter, nepe, digesteri, zigeri. Uasheri, Ua Tefaha. aha, emete, emaha, emete, emaha, emma, emmete, emmete, Attack, 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 attack. Peace, 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 peace. Attack, Duat, attack.
Uja, greetings everyone. So, I just want to put some final touches on line 5 before we go to line 6 next week. Because this line is instrumental in setting up line 6, because line 6 has to do with an outcome that relates to capturing the birds. So we have to have some deeper understanding of what the capturing of the birds relate to. And as was said last time, the capturing of the birds relates to controlling of the mind. And controlling of the mind there are various phases or stages that you have to go through to come to the place where you are controlling the mind. And controlling the mind doesn't mean that you'll never ever, have like a twinge or a thought that is, that you need to watch or suppress or anything. It means that you'll not follow any thought or idea that is contrary to the teaching. So what you'll be able to do is you'll be able to counter any negative thoughts, and your negative emotions talking about becomes highly attenuated and very thinned out, and so they don't operate within you as before. And this idea of neheb, the renewal, it's hard to see on the glyphs, but here it is, neheb. And neheb is followed by imajat symbol. So it relates to a spiritual renewal through a metaphysical process that is occurring within the personality as the personality goes through the process of capturing the birds, which is a metaphor for not allowing the negative thoughts, emotions, and feelings to overtake your personality. Then you have to take those captured birds and bring them to the cosmic mind, to Jehuti. And from there, Jehuti shines the light of mind, purified mind, talking about on the negative thoughts, feelings, emotions, and essentially reveals their illusory nature. It's like when someone is doing a magic trick and you figure out how the trick is done, you're not fooled by the illusion of the magic trick anymore. Similarly, when your cosmic mind nature shines its awareness, its light of cosmic presence onto the negative emotional states and conditions, then they can't control you. And not only that, your cosmic mind inner nature also shines its awareness, its light on your positive thoughts, feelings, and emotions. And when that is done, then that disintegrates the notion of thought as mind altogether. And what is revealed is pristine mind. Mind that is unblemished, without scars from the ARIU. And you arise in cosmic mind nature, which is enlightened mind. So the spiritual renewal that the personality goes through is related to a transformative effect that occurs through this process of spiritual evolution. And it's a new apprehension of temporal reality, of temporality. And what I mean by that is that what you were perceiving before and apprehending as an abiding reality through the luminescence of mind, you apprehend them as appearances, manifestations of mental activity. So you see nature as a manifestation of the mind of the divine. And this is something that you actually experience, and that is your enlightened awareness. That is your awareness of the illusory nature of time and space. It doesn't mean you're going to stand in front of a bus or drink Clorox or anything like that. But what it does mean is that you have a pristine awareness of the nature of things and events. And therefore you cannot be, you have gone beyond the conditioning of mind, the unconscious conditioning of mind. And this renewal that occurs within you is your true state, is your true, you as an ego personality, individual being that you think that you are, with your temporal identity. That is a fabrication by the ARIU. The ARIU meaning the karmic basis. So your karma, which is your ARIU, the Kemetic term is ARIU, is a collection of the residue of thoughts, feelings, emotions, actions that are stored in your unconscious. And it acts sort of a formula that generates a conditioning process that you refer to as your personality. So your reactions to things and events and your reactions to yourself are conditioned actions. They're not true actions. They're derived from the ARIU. So you're essentially a robot to your conditioned unconscious mind. And some will say that a robot has more autonomy than a human being, because a human being cannot act outside of their ARIU. And therefore, through this capturing process, you're reconditioning the ARIU so that you can eventually, through the spiritual program, eliminate the ARIU altogether. And that occurs at the time of death. But you have to reach a certain high, pristine level for that to occur at the time of death. Or you can't just, wish it or hope it. You have to go through a spiritual evolutionary process where your ARIU becomes highly attenuated, and any ARIU that remains through your cosmic mind nature and your divine awareness, it mitigates any effects of the ARIU that would cause a reincarnation process. So in essence, the ARIU would disintegrate, dissipate in the ether, if you want to use that terminology. But your abiding divine nature self exists. So now your divine essence exists. And what separates the personality from the apprehension of that existent divine nature are the birds that are flapping and flying all over the place. A metaphor for your thoughts, feelings, emotions, desires. But think about it. If at the time of death you can dissipate your ARIU to the degree that there is a perennial, existent, divine, true nature self, then that means that that existent, divine, true nature self, which is eternal, is there, right now, is here, right now, or within you. But the personality has obscurations to that reality. And those obscurations are related to the conditioning of your mind through your world process. So you can have the world process, you can have the spiritual process. The world process keeps a personality tied to time and space. The mystic process releases the personality from being tied to time and space. Eventually, the individual notion personality. Since all of the divine, everything is an expression of the divine. But the removal of your individual notion, identity, self, that is what is removed. So you have to, your thoughts are mitigating, a mitigating factor in the realization of your true divine nature. Now, I want to show how the birds play out in the Amdua text. So we'll do a stop share and then a screen share. This idea of the birds, the geese that are captured. So we'll come out of here and then we'll share here. And this is from what is referred to as Division 3, which I refer to as metaphysical process 3. The Amdua text is a series of metaphysical processes, mystic exercises for the purpose of spiritual enlightenment, a spiritual evolutionary process. And here you have the goddess Meskat, and she is the goddess of rebirth. So that's her here. And behind her are 4 geese divinities. There are more, but there are actually 5, actually. But I wanted to focus on these 2. The necessity and the attempt. And these geese, they are carrying knives. And they have geese heads and human bodies, and they're carrying knives. And what this relates to is that this relates to the pristine mind, the mind. When I say pristine mind in this context, I mean a highly purified mind. So instead of your thoughts, feelings, and emotions working against you to keep you tied into time and space, your thoughts, feelings, and emotions have been reestablished in a way that they have been washed and renewed, and so your thoughts, feelings, and emotions, those that you do have, leads you to a separation from time and space. And that's what the knives refer to. The sisu, the one in the front here, he relates to a cutting away of the lower 6 psychospiritual energy centers. So he severs you from the aspects of the psychic system that keeps you tied to phenomenality. So if you're released from the lower 6, you arise at the 7th, which is all-encompassing transcendental nature. How it relates to the text of study in the Karnak temple is that your captured thoughts are now, those negative thoughts that are captured, so the thoughts that remain are thoughts of higher consciousness, divine nature, mystic realization, mysticism. And so these are new thoughts, different kinds of thoughts. Instead of relating yourself as an individual person with individual wants and needs, now you relate to yourself as a transcendental supreme being in your thoughts and feelings, while at the same time being able to perform mundane tasks and going to the bank, paying a bill, whatever. You have deeper thoughts about yourself other than a mundane perspective. So the removal of the negative mundane musing concerning your nature. Attempti, which is the one behind attempti, relates to being severed from duality. In other words, bringing duality to an end. It relates to eliminating the appearance and the perception of duality to you. It doesn't mean that it's bring duality to an end for everybody. There's people who are steeped in delusion, the appearance of duality remains for them. The person who has developed higher thoughts and feelings about him or herself is that person who moves towards the elimination of the appearance of duality. So that person realizes within themselves a universal spirit consciousness that is beyond the appearance of duality. So the knives of the divinities represents a metaphysical process that is occurring within the personality that is separating the personality from ignorance concerning the nature of self. So the demons are your ideas and concepts related to yourself as separate from the divine. And you are separating yourself from that misapprehension and that misunderstanding concerning true nature, divine nature. And you put these two together, the assist you and the attemptee, and what you have is a movement that culminates in non-dual spirit realization. So they represent spiritual excellence. That's the sage, the spiritual master, the person who knows thyself, the person that knows the truth of being. And therefore, the implication is that there is an elimination of the ignorance that binds the person to the realm of time and space. And that's what the Amdua text is about, and that's what these processes are about. So you're eliminating yourself from your attachment to time and space by realizing the truth of being behind your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions. And so these geese beings, they represent pristine mind, a mind that is unencumbered by the ignorance of the nature of self. The knives represent the spiritual evolutionary process that is occurring within the personality that leads to a separation from that ignorance. And that brings the personality to higher consciousness. Okay, Dua everyone. We're going to do an encore presentation of the documentary Journey Back. So I'll try to put out the dates later today because there have been requests for another showing. So we'll do an encore presentation probably earlier in the day so we could show some behind the scenes stuff as well after it. So we'll see how it goes. So Dua everyone, Dua once again for a beautiful devotional. Until we meet again, reflect on these teachings. Hitet.